I'm Cary, Ellis, author of 21st Century Superhuman. This is our 21st Century Superhuman live on a beautiful Sunday afternoon where we are. And this is my wonderful partner, husband, Marek Villalobos.
Buenas tardes, buenos días, good evening, good morning, good afternoon.
And Marek has just translated book 1 of 21st Century Superhuman, The Shift of the Ages, into Spanish. And he's also done the audiobook for both English and Spanish. And we're in the midst of getting books 2, 3, and 4, Mind, Spirit, and Body, translated into Spanish and read as audiobooks. So we're working a ton behind the scenes.
Quite a bit going on.
So at the end of this video, Marek will give just a short overview of what we talk about in Spanish for our Spanish listeners.
Sí, por los que hablan puro español o los que prefieren escucharlo en español, al final voy a dar un resumen chico de lo que hablamos hoy en español.
Awesome. And I'm learning Spanish. I'm kind of a middle-of-the-road person here, intermediate.
I think you're doing great.
Thank you, babe. So today we want to talk about, because book 1 is the shift of the ages, and we are in this amazing time of great change, we're feeling a lot of chaos around us. I mean, the news is up, the news is down, and the alternative news is up, and the alternative news is down, and there are so many things going on that everyone around the world, I think, is having to make adjustments for. They're having to figure out how to get along in their lives economically, with their partners, with their attitudes and their energy and what they think about the world.
Just walking outside your door. It's crazy. The world is upside down.
It really
and what do you
is.
do? What do you do in that situation?
Yes. So today we want to talk about what do you do. And I've just had the amazing privilege. I have this man with me who has an incredible voice, which the world is going to get to hear as you listen to these books. And it's really a gift because it comes through him as coming as a voice of higher consciousness. And I just want to thank you for doing that, babe.
Gracias, my love.
And I've been having the privilege of you reading me aloud The Lord of the Rings the last few weeks. And at night, we just take a little time and delve into this story, which is really an allegory for these times. If you get into that at all or have any interest, wow, it's amazing.
If you've read Lord of the Rings before, and I say read because I much prefer the book a million times to the movies, but we won't get into that now. So the reading of it, where you feel the essence, where you get into the container that he built, this world that Tolkien built, and you see the wisdom of the characters, in the characters, of the different ones and how they're built and built upon structures of beauty and higher thinking. And it actually ends up being very now. The lessons are very much
amazingly parallel to now. I just hear and go, wow, this guy wrote this back, I think, in the 1950s or 60s.
That's a good
something.
question.
Yeah, we need to look it up. But it is quite a while ago. I think The Hobbit was first and then Lord of the Rings second. So today we're going to share with you one of my favorite quotes from Frodo and Gandalf, where Frodo says, I wish it need not have happened in my time. And wow, don't we feel like that sometimes?
No kidding.
So do I, said Gandalf, and so do all who live to see such time. But that is not for them to decide. All we have to decide is what we do with the time that is given us. And this is our topic for today. This is so important because we know that every thought, word, and deed sets timelines in motion. The book 21st Century Superhuman is about, and especially book 1, Shift of the Ages, is about how quantum physics is changing the way we think, and cosmic light is pouring into the planet, and ancient texts tell us that this was going to happen. And so here we are in these times of great change that we kind of raised our hands and said, I sign up to come into the planet at this time, and I'm going to live through these times, which are amazing and challenging and interesting. If you had told me 30 years ago I'd be seeing what I see now, I wouldn't have believed you.
That's
right?
true. That's right. And as we've talked about what Shift of the Ages is about the galactic night, which we are just coming out of,
Yes.
and as we're moving into the galactic day, we used to speak of this in a prophetic sense. We used to speak that this is coming and that the world would experience this soon, and that we were in the shift of the ages. I mean, from 2012 on and before, the constellation, 1987 and all that, what was that, the equinox? I just went blank.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're in it. We were saying we're in it. But now we can see it.
Yes.
Now we can see, and we are clearly ankle deep in it.
We are.
And so what to do now, how to guide ourselves in the midst of this.
Yes.
And that's where we're at.
And it is that 25,000-year cycle, 26,000-year cycle, and we're at this point where we are going from the galactic night into the galactic day. And what are you so fond of saying?
Just as surely as day follows night, we will go through this, and we are going through it. And everything that was built in the night disappears. It dissolves. And then we get to recreate in the day.
Yes. So these are really beautiful times. They're amazing times. These are the times when we are getting to learn to walk in our mastery. And we have a wonderful friend. I have a wonderful friend of many years named Teddy, who is contributor to the books, the 21st Century Superhuman books, and just the life that we're all living. We have kind of a community with each other, and we nourish each other with conversations daily about how to elevate ourselves in these times and how to take care of our bodies, how to take care of our minds, how to take care of our spirits. We do have it set up at my website, which is in the middle of another transformation, that some of our team can actually do consultations for those who are really needing to have a conversation with someone. But many years ago, in the mid-'70s, I think, Teddy was involved. The love of her life had actually died at a young age, and so it launched her into a spiritual search. And as she was on that spiritual search, she ended up meeting up with a wonderful teacher named Nellie Kane in Grand Rapids, Michigan. What an amazing place. And she was involved with a group of people who had been teaching A Course in Miracles and a lot of the truth that was downloaded with that. And Nellie Kane, let me just read this here, wrote a book called Exploring the Mysteries of Life, 30 Years Research. And she was an old-time spiritualist. She'd wave her hand when they were in the room learning with her, and ectoplasm would flow off her hand.
Wow.
And the great beings of light, the ascended masters, would come and actually speak through her. So this was Teddy's awakening. And we have quotes by Nellie Kane in the book, and here's a little compilation of some of her quotes that are in 21st Century Superhuman. And we consider her one of our guides for these times. So, Marek, with your wonderful voice, you want to go ahead and read us this wisdom from Nellie Kane? Because let me toss in here also. With our exposure to the scrolls of Peru, which were downloaded from 1969 to 1978, that are some powerful, powerful knowledge, they also talk about the disintegration, which is not made from love. And this is what we're in the middle of seeing around us right now.
Absolutely.
That's what this chaos is. And so we see things happening, we see things falling apart, we see people up in arms against each other, or maybe somebody creating these dissonances. And what we need to really be aware of is every thought, every word, every deed of ours is creative. And as we get to understand our own creativity and how it's reflected in this world, we literally implement our walk of mastery here. So Nellie speaks to some of this.
Absolutely. Jumping right in to the energy that Nellie shares. Old social and economic structures will crumble of their own decay, since they were not built upon spiritual foundations. Greed, lust, and power were their underpinnings, and they will fall into the dust of destruction before the new edifice be raised. The world must be transmuted. The new cosmic vibration of the earth is being greatly intensified, and we must raise our frequency in accordance. That which does not vibrate in harmony with the new cosmic vibration will simply disintegrate.
Could we pause there just a minute?
Of course.
Because we have all this light pouring in. It's fine. We have all this light pouring in from these, even reported by NASA, greater bursts of gamma rays, of X-rays. We have the Schumann resonance, which people are watching regularly now, and we get to see these bursts of energy coming through it. So these bursts of energy are raising the frequency of the planet. They're raising the frequency of us and the environment that we're in, which means the cells of our bodies, the activities of our mind are being pushed to harmonize with these new elevated vibrations. This is the time of the Great Awakening. This is the time of our transformation into a more advanced mind, body, spirit, let us say. And we are literally being pushed by nature. We're being pushed by our environment. We're being pushed by the cosmic movement of light here.
Aho.
More of Nellie.
If humanity can be awakened and transmute their hate, greed, and intolerance before the new planetary vibrations are in full control, they can function in the new vibration without experiencing the impact of it as a destructive force. These conditions are not being visited upon mankind as punishment, but are the natural consequence of planetary progression, which also brings a new vibrational level in which hate, animosity, and material consciousness can have no place. The old falls of its own weight, and those who are trapped in it will experience the chaos of it. But those who arise in love and light will know that it is the great plan, and they will let love reign in the new order. We will heal by imaging, but better still, in time we will require no healing, for we will learn that in harmony is our own creation, and we will learn to use creative law divinely for the good of all. This is hard to imagine. You'll be amazed at the rapidity with which it will come, for the earth is being prepared, and the old order falls very quickly.
Wow. That's really amazing, because I think the old way of the old world, we're used to thinking of the end times or these times of transition as a time of destruction. But what she's telling us is it doesn't have to be a time of destruction. And I've always believed in my spiritual journey and my life path that I would be directed where to be and when to be there. That if destruction was going to happen, I would be directed. If it was my time to go, then I might be there, or I would maybe something would happen and I would be okay. And even
or
if there was,
you could be standing in the midst of it, and
yes,
it can fall down all around you.
Absolutely.
And you remain standing.
Absolutely. So we need to have that trust, the trust in the plan of our own divine path, our own divine purpose, our own divine connection and knowing. And listening to our heart, being aligned with our heart rather than our mind, letting the mind go and listening to the heart is one of the most powerful things we can be doing at this time. And it is from there that this true imaging, this true knowing of where we are to be, what we're to be doing, how to align with events and purposes so that we can support the highest order moving forward. And I know that you're really, go ahead. And
no,
you're
how
really,
to choose your timeline.
yes.
Because we're in a nexus of timelines.
Yes.
And especially now with the 2012 and this great shift, there are infinite timelines and infinite realities at the same time going on. So which one do you choose to be on for
right.
you? And so you can choose the fear, you can choose the chaos, or you can go within and choose the love and experience the magic that comes with that. Because it's magical, it's the divine synchronicity confirms your path daily as you choose this love, as you choose to release the chaos from within you. Because as we were saying last time, the chaos you're seeing is only what is from within us that is being boiled out.
That's right.
It's the gunk in the bottom of the pot that's being boiled out. We're seeing things that are within us that we didn't even know was there. Some really, really yucko stuff that I don't want to mention now, because we're focusing on what to be, what to do, and how to be in this love, how to be in this state of acceptance of ourselves. And then you walk in this bubble. There's this bubble. There's this truly the center, the eye of the storm. You become this calm in the midst of the storm.
Yes. And I think all of us are being called to step up another step in our level of mastery, because it doesn't even have to be really terrible gunk. It can just be anger, like seeing something and going, oh, that makes me angry, or oh, that makes me sad. Yeah. And then having to look inside and say, no, I'm blessing that sadness, I'm acknowledging it, and I'm sending it on its way. I'm canceling, releasing, and letting it go. And then I'm breathing and smiling and shifting my neurobiology, and I'm centering in love. Love for that situation, love for that action, love for what I see going on around me, love for responses coming from others. This is the beauty of what we really need to be aware of right now.
Walking as the column of love light that we are.
Yes.
Walking as this being, as the being of love that we are. And we step into that. And there's better days than others, to be honest, at the moment. But I feel that will increase, and will increase that magicality of our lives.
Yes. And as we awaken to those challenges, something comes up, and we can say to each other, if we have friends around us or others who are recognizing the value of this path, we can say, hey, look beyond that. Let's not get caught in that thought. Let's really take that up to love. And so as things are kind of reaching this crescendo around us, and it's pushing harder, there's more response we feel in ourselves, and it's just coming up for us to acknowledge, to cancel, release, and let go, and to center in love. I'd like to talk a minute about, how we set timelines in motion. And by the way, it was the harmonic convergence you were bringing up a little bit ago.
Yes.
It popped in for me.
Thank you.
Let's say that really quick. But quantum physics tells us that basically now is all there is. So now is all there is. So we have a now point, and stacked on top of it are all these different possibilities, many possibilities that can take place in this now moment. So in this now moment, as we look at everything that is stacked here, we decide, what are we going to align with? Are we going to align with, yes, knock down those statues, or, I don't know, I don't even like bringing this stuff up. But are we going to align with love? Are we going to put a timeline in motion that is going to bring forth a creation of reality, a world around us that is designed in love? Yes. Are we going to say, I love all my brothers and sisters, I don't care what they're doing, what stage of growth they're at, how far in the darkness they are, what needs to happen on their path? Yeah. I'm not going to judge it. I'm going to just say, I love in this moment. I love what I see around me. I send it love. I send it love in awakening.
And then I like to choose my timeline that I see, that I visualize as new birth. And I'll pop out what I consider to be the future and see it as already done. Yes. And then I'll feel that and just walk it now. I see, of course, wars as a history. Children looking up and saying, wow, you had to pay for electricity. You had to do this and that and this and that as history, as something that is long gone, which we now can bring in the wisdom that experience brought us, and then walk in that timeline. That energy is all free, and we zip around wherever we want, whether you want to use technology or through your consciousness to zap over to another part of the planet and partake in a gathering of love and sharing, and then zap back to another part of the planet. Again, whether it be through what do they call the time wheels that you walk through, the Stargate, or,
Right.
or a vehicle that's anti-gravity, or whether you do it in consciousness. And you just dissolve right in front of the people, and then you reappear in front of the other people with your pure consciousness. And you take your body with you.
I like it.
And walking with that knowledge and with that knowing in your steps today helps magnetize it to us, helps bring it in.
That's right.
And I love doing that. So that's when I say choose your timeline, that's what I mean. Choose how you want it to be.
Yes.
And really don't even mention what you don't want
That's right.
to be, because as you place your attention on it, you're bringing it into being.
This is right. Yeah,
And
exactly.
so I'm a cold turkey kind of doing that way.
Yeah.
So that's...
And in the book, we talk about Greg Braden's teaching, where he says, you know, his Native American friend who prays rain, calls rain in, he says, I feel the mud between my toes. I smell the rain on the flowers. So we want to feel the mud between our toes. We have a really beautiful, another written piece here that someone posted this morning that was really a nice message to us that we'll share on how we're being called right now. And this is...
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's by Christy Mantis. It was posted on Facebook, and it just went right through me when I first saw it. And I honor you, Christy, for being in tune with who you are in tune with, and the love and light that shares through this. And I'm glad to share. And
I just want to thank everyone who's posting amazing things on a daily basis in the social media, good, bad, indifferent. I'm so grateful to be connected with a global community, and we choose to have the flow come to us, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all these different methods where we're getting inspired by our brothers and sisters. And we all have inspiration to give to each other. And sometimes you guys post things that help us in our day. This was one of those things. And so we don't even really know Christy, but we love the voice that she gave us today.
Ready?
Yeah. Go ahead.
We are being called to stillness again as we pause within this energetic space between combustion points. As a result of the beautiful activations and huge influxes of life that we've been experiencing as a collective, dense energies are rising like a wave once more. You may notice it within yourself or playing out in your surroundings. Frustration, irritation, anger, blame, grief, worry, and so on come up to be met with love and acceptance, allowing them to be released and transmuted. There is not one thing going wrong. If you're noticing these old things again, it's actually a beautiful indicator that we are all on the right path. A release is needed to come into greater alignment with one's true self, as Gaia is aligning with her divinity too. It can feel a bit chaotic, though while immersed within it, and this is where stillness is so beneficial.
And we're getting some really big opportunities for stillness right now, aren't we?
I hope.
You can bless it.
Stillness is not just a quieting of the mind. It is a powerful vibrational platform that is synonymous with ease and trust. It is the meeting point of you and you. Great wisdom resides there. When you enter the platform of stillness, your unsettled emotion becomes unraveled. Light infiltrates and is easily released. It is the space where Source breathes you. It is where non-physical whispers in your ear. It is where knowings settle in. This powerful platform houses the holding pattern in which all of your desires are lovingly held in readiness for you. It is where your purpose is revealed, and your gifts and abilities are activated and ignited. It is where the crystallization of your cells begin, so that you may become a version of yourself that is beyond your wildest dreaming. It is where the next steps on your path are shown, and where the loving arms of your guides are felt. When I was talking to Dragon, they told me there is so much light, power, beauty that has merged into stillness, Stillness carries you. Stillness is full. It is not an empty space. It is a space of fullness. And this stillness can carry you to the stars and beyond. This truth is absolute. We will all be carried to the stars and beyond as we allow it. Give yourself permission and love yourself enough to let go and stand on the platform of stillness. It is where your biggest dreams will come true.
Wow, that is really beautiful. So stillness is important. Being in our center is important. This walk of mastery is important. In just a minute, Marek will give just a short summary of what we talked about today in Spanish.
If I can remember it all.
And first of all, we just want to say to you all, thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in for your own greater well-being and walking the walk of mastery, because we're all being called right now. It's so important. And the books, 21st Century Superhuman, are being called the most important books on the planet and guidebook for our times. So we hope that you will find them. I'll post the links under the video. The ebook and paperback books are out in English and Spanish on Amazon and other places. And the audiobooks, I think, are just still waiting to get up. The Spanish one may be up, and the English one, Amazon's a little behind on getting that out in front, but should be very shortly. So we want to invite you to join us. We'll be doing some online classes very soon. And just thank you all for being here. We share this journey together. We're a global family. We love you all. We think of you all daily. And think of us all as being one in this process, because we are one. There is God's self, which is the oneness of each of us, each of our individualities in that. And so we love you all. Thank you for joining us. Please share this with your friends. Please comment underneath. Even if it's not live anymore, we'll still see your comments. And we don't have this quite set up to where we can see all your live comments. We will probably get to that point here shortly. But meanwhile, thank you all who are listening. And we love you all. And we'll see you soon. And remember to breathe, smile, and love.
Sí, sí, sí.
Can I do it in Spanish and English?
Respira,
Breathe,
sonría
smile,
y ama.
and love. Okay.
Ese es el truco. That's the trick. Whatever you come across, to do that, and it changes everything instantly. O sea, es un truco mágico. En cualquier situación en que te encuentres, respira, sonríe a la misma vez y ama. Y eso cambia tu neurobiología, cambia la situación. Es un truco mágico. Por eso lo decimos tanto. En todo caso, en resumen, lo que hablamos de hoy es, dentro del caos que estamos viviendo en el mundo ahorita, cómo podemos andar o qué camino escogemos y cómo lo elegimos. Y si recordamos que estamos en el gran cambio de las eras, donde estamos saliendo galácticamente de una noche galáctica y entrando a un día galáctico, todo lo que fue construido durante esa noche, durante la oscuridad, se tiene que disolver, se tiene que disolver dentro de la luz del día. Igual que la sombra de la noche, la oscuridad de la noche, se desvanece cuando llega el día. Y es lo mismo que estamos experimentando ahorita, pero a gran escala. Entonces, todo lo que fue hecho durante 13,000 años se está disolviendo y lo estamos viendo en el mundo como caótico, un caos. El mundo está cabeza abajo, sin mencionar detalles, pero todos lo estamos experimentando. Entonces, ¿cómo podemos elegir nuestra línea de tiempo? ¿Cómo elegimos nuestro camino para que sea, para que lo podamos sobrevivir por uno, y cómo lo podemos hacer lo mejor posible? Y lo hacemos eligiendo nuestra línea de tiempo, porque ahorita estamos en un nexus donde hay infinitas líneas de tiempo ocurriendo a la misma vez. Entonces, nosotros, al alinear nuestra frecuencia, estamos enganchándonos a esa línea de tiempo. Y entonces, esa línea de tiempo, como hay tantos, nuestra frecuencia determina cuál línea de tiempo nos encaminamos. Entonces, lo elegimos. Elegimos qué poner nuestra atención. Elegimos poner nuestra atención sobre amor, sobre el perdón, sobre, bueno, mi línea de tiempo es uno futuro. El futuro donde ya no hay guerras, donde los niños nos dicen, oye, ¿tú experimentaste guerras? ¿Cómo fue eso? Y el otro le dice, ay, abuelito, cuéntame, tú dices que tuvieron que pagar para energía y electricidad, etcétera. Ese es un futuro del nuevo mundo que yo experimento. Y esa es la línea de tiempo que yo elijo. Aunque estoy caminando en el caos, yo estoy sintiéndome en ese lugar del nuevo mundo ya hecho. Y eso me convierte, eso me produce una burbuja de amor, una burbuja mágica, donde estoy caminando en medio del caos como si fuera el ojo del huracán. Y la tormenta está alrededor de mí, pero yo ando en una paz, yo ando en una magia. Y la gente que sale de ese huracán son los que están afinados a esa vibración. Y los conozco como amigos de alma, aunque sea la primera vez que los conozco. Es increíble, es una vida mágica, la verdad. Y gente que está muy fuera de esa frecuencia, los que están en el caos, si yo les trato de decir algo así, me creen loco, porque es demasiada diferencia la frecuencia. Entonces, en resumen es lo que estamos hablando. El dicho que hablé tiene que ver con el silencio. Y el silencio en la calma tiene todo, no es un vacío. Y ahí viene toda la información, toda la sabiduría, todo el amor, toda decisión viene de esa calma interior. Y eso es lo que estamos recomendando. Y el libro, sí, el libro ya está publicado en español, el libro 1 en todo caso, El Superhumano del siglo XXI, libro 1, El cambio de las eras. Y es precisamente de lo que estamos experimentando ahorita en el mundo, por eso es tan crítico obtenerlo, sentir la vibra que trae el libro. Es muy, muy impactante. Se lo recomendamos mucho para cambiar su vida. El audiolibro diario en Spanish up yet, or is it still in process?
I think I signed up.
Puede que el audiolibro ya esté, que ya lo liberaron del proceso de aprobación que lo sometimos. Ahorita lo checamos. En todo caso, yo lo leí, y me encantó, aprendí mucho. Cada vez que lo leo, crezco energéticamente, espiritualmente, de mi ser. Es increíble. Muy, muy poderoso este camino. Entendiendo todas estas cosas, ayuda tanto. ¿Qué más puedo decir? Ayuda muchísimo. Y con todo corazón se los ofrecemos. Y con eso les damos bendiciones. Recuerden, sonríen, respiren y amen.
Much love to all, and we shall see you soon.
Chao, chao.
Adiós.